Welcome back to the course of Mathematics 1. Now we are going to start with new chapter partial derivatives. Already you are familiar with the derivative when the function y is equal f of x it is given, that means y is dependent on only one variable function. So in that case we can determine its derivative and that is known as ordinary derivative. But suppose that surface is given and still suppose you want to find its derivative, and that also you can determine. So and that type of derivative we will say that the partial derivatives. So in this chapter we are going to learn about how we can determine its partial derivatives, and also we will see its application. So let's begin with first limit and continuity. Already you are familiar with the function of one variable and two variables. Suppose you have given that f of x is equal 3x square plus 3. This is a function of one variable that you can say. That means what we can recall here, if x is the input variable for this function, so f of x will be the output. For example, if our input is x is equal 4, so our output will be what? So here f of x is replaced by only 4, so 3 into 4 square plus 3, and output will be the 51. In the same argument, we can carry on the for function of two variables. That means this is our function f of xy, which is a two variable function x and y. So here xy is nothing but input. So based on that we can get the output, that is f of xy. But if I particular take 4 and comma 2 is our input, so what will be the output? That will be the f of 4 comma 2. So x is replaced by 4 and y is replaced by 2. But when we simplify this one, so our answer is going to be 102. And that is what our output. So here already you are familiar with the limit and continuity of a function of one variable. So first question arises that when we can say that the limit is exist. That means suppose you want to show that limit x tends to a f of x is equal L. So when we can say. So in that case, what we have to assume that limit x tends to a plus f of x and limit x tends to a minus f of x. And this limit is known as right side limit. That means, suppose if I want to find the limit at this one point, that means I have to come from the left hand side. So I can say if x is approaches to a from the left hand side, and that is known as left hand side limit. And if we get the answer that is L1, and if I consider from the right hand side, if I approach to the A point from the right side, and that will be the right limit. And if I get the its answer is again L1, can say that the limit is exists, and therefore its answer will be L. So same concept you can understand from this graphical representation. And what about the continuous? When we say that the function is continuous at x is equal, so for that you have to determine first limit, and then after at that point we determine its image. That means f of a. If its limit and the image of that function at particular point x is equal a, both are same, then and then only we can say that the function is continuous. Let us look at the limit of a function of two variables. So let us look at the first theoretical definition. If f of xy is a function of two variables, say x and y, then the limit xy tends to be f of xy is equal L. If and only this limit is this if and only if for every epsilon greater than 0, if we can find delta greater than 0 such that mod of f of xy minus L is less than epsilon for all values of xy for which mod xy minus ab is less than delta. And this is what our theoretical definition for the limit of a function of two variables. Already you are familiar with for function of one variable, but we have just extended to for function of two variables. But here we will keep in mind that limit xy tends to ab f of xy is equal L, where L is unique. Then we can say that the limit is exist. But suppose you want to show that the mathematically, so how we can? So first we will assume that limit y tends to b, and then after we will take limit x tends to a of the function f of xy. And if we assume that the limit x tends to a of f of xy, and then after if I assume that the limit y tends to b. If both the cases have the same answer, then we can say that the limit is exist. But we will keep in mind that A and B both are not simultaneously, that is 0, 0. But suppose that the case is 0, 0, we need to check all the paths which are passing through the origin. So in that case, we will assume that y is equal mx raised to n, where n is greater than 0. And if all the path, if we are going to considering, and if we get the limit same, then and then only we consider the limit is like this. Here let us understand the graphical representation of the function of two variables. This is our x-axis and this is y-axis. So based on that, this is our function z is equal f of xy. So whenever we take the input as a xy, so our form will be what? Here you can see that this is our output. But if I take as an input x coordinate, x is equal 11 and y is equal to 2. So intersection point is this one. So based on that, we can determine the point on the surface. So that point will be f of a over a2. And that will be our output. So yeah, let us first consider the example. Determine whether the limit of function f of xy is equal e raised to x square y minus 2y plus 1 existed all at the point 2, 1 or not. That means we are going to find the limit of this function at this point 2, 1. So for that, what we have to consider? We have to consider the different path. So let us first consider path number 1. First, before that, we will keep in mind that this is A and B, both are not simultaneously 0. That means we can conclude that this is non-zero. That means to find the limit, we will consider only two paths. So let us first assume that x tends to 2 and then after we will take limit y tends to 1. But if I put here x is equal to, so what we are going to get? E raised to 4y minus 2y plus 1. But after simplifying, you can see that we are going to get e raised to 3, but when we take the limit y tends to 1, so we will get e raised to 3 and say this is the error. But now when we assume that the path number 2, so first we are going to consider here y tends to 1 and then after we will consider x tends to 2. So let us say first limit y tends to 1 and then after we will consider limit x tends to 2 of this function. So when we put here y is equal 1, so our form will be e raised to x square minus 2 plus 1. But when we take limit x tends to 2, so our function will be what? That is e raised to 3, so this is z2. So path number 1 and 2, we can observe that both are what? Exactly same. That means we can say that the limit is like this and answer will be what? That is the e raised to 3. So let us consider another question. Suppose you want to find the limit at the origin. So how we can determine? So this is a nice question. So here function f of xy is that is defined. Whenever xy is non-zero, so we have given function 3 times x square y divided by x square plus y square. When x and y both are 0, 0, so function is that is 0. But mathematically, whenever you are supposed to put your x and y both are 0, 0, so this is 0 and again divide by 0. That means it is going to be what? Exactly indeterminate forms. But the question itself is provided with the whenever we are going to assume that f of 0, 0, so answer is what? Exactly 0. But whenever it is required, so we will keep in mind. So let us first assume that how we can find the limit. So we have to consider path number 1, limit x tends to 0, 3x square y divided by x square plus y square, and then after we will take limit y tends to 0. That is answer is 0. Now path number 2 is that again when we apply first y tends to 0, so 0 divided by only x square, but again we know that that is 0, so we can get here L1 is equal to, that means equation number 1 and 2 both are same. That means what? But what we are going to consider, if you supposed to consider graphical representation, then it will be more clear. So in that case, you have to first approach that what you want to determine. Here we are going to determine limit at the origin. So for that purpose, we have to consider this is the center. So which are the curves which are passing through the origin? So we can say y is equal x, y is equal to x, y is equal minus x. So in general, we will observe that y is equal mx curve is there which is passing through the origin. Another curves are what? We can say y is equal x square, y is equal to x square. So y is equal minus x square. In general, y is equal mx square is there. Also it is passing through the origin. Also we can say y is equal x raised to cube. Y is equal to x raised to cube. So in general we can say y is equal mx raised to power 3 is there. So in conclusion we can say that we are going to consider all the curves which are passing through origin, and that is what y is equal mx raised to n, where n is greater than 0. Ultimately, in generalized, we will mention that the limit is like this for all the paths which are passing through the origin. And if all the functions have the limit same, then and then only we can say that the limit is like this, otherwise does not exist. So let us first see path number 3 along y is equal mx. That means we are going to assume that y is equal mx here. So we are going to this one, but whenever we simplify, this is the function of x. M is a constant number. So what we can assume, limit x tends to 0, 3mx divided by 1 plus n square. But when I supposed to put here x is equal 0, so what I am just going to get? Only answer 0. Still we are going to get, that means I have to further consider part y is equal mx square. So here mx square is there, mx square. But whenever we simplify, so what we are going to consider? We will consider highest power common from the numerator as well as from the denominator. But what we are going to, highest for common all the terms. Here x square, that is the highest. So we are going to take only x square common from this one. But whenever we are going to simplify, still what we are going to get? Mx square divided by 1 plus m square x square. But when I take limit x tends to 0, so what we are going to get? Always numerator contains x, so that means our answer must be 0. 0 divided by any constant quantity, so answer leads to be 0. That means if I suppose to consider this path, also it will be 0. If I suppose to assume that y is equal mx raised to cube, still we will get the answer 0. But we will write in generalized form. In general, along y is equal mx raised to n, so in that case what? So we are going to consider just y is replaced by mx raised to n. But when we simplify, so we are going to get that is answer 0. We will keep in mind that here x raised to 2n. But we are assuming that the x raised to 2 power, that is common. So what I have to write? X raised to 2n minus 2. But when I take limit x tends to 0, so we will get answer 0. So when we observe all the curves, so what we are going to get? Answer 0. That means limit is exists, and what it is exactly, that is 0. So function is continuous at AB. If f of AB exists, that means its image at that particular point must be exist. Second thing, limit is exists L. But if L is replaced by this quantity, whatever we have its image, then we can say that f of xy is equal f of AB. Now let us consider question number 1. So that f of xy is equal, this one is continuous at every point except at the origins. I will show this example by two ways. When we are going to find the limit of a function of two variables. So in this question, what we have to first observe that f of 0, 0, and that is provided, that is 0. So first condition is that. But what about the condition number 2? Condition number 2 says that is the limit is exist. So I'm just going to show this question by different method. But before that, let us understand what actual method is that. So if I follow the path number 1, limit x tends to 0, then after y tends to 0, answer is 0. Path number 2 is that. Then we have to assume that y is equal mx. We are going to get this one. But when we observe that the limit x tends to 0 to m divided by 1 plus n square, so we are going to get this one, and which depends on m, and therefore we can say that the limit does not exist. But what I am just going to tell you that if I put x is equal, let me explain here. If I suppose x is equal r cos theta, y is equal r sin theta, so in that case what we can say? So our limiting concept will be what? Limit xy tends to 0, 0, f of xy, but this is given as 2xy, that means 2 times r cos x, that means cos theta, into r sin theta, divided by x square plus y square. So I'm just going to write r square cos square theta plus r square sin square theta. But when I take r square common, so what we are going to get? Cos square plus sin square theta. But this is what exactly one. R square will be eliminated. But now what we can say about that? This is a function of r and theta, but this is not the case. But when we understand graphically, our target is to reach your origin, that is the 0, 0. So if I assume that if I reducing values of r, if I come from here, whether if I come from here, whether if I come from here. So in that case, there is no issue about the angle. That means, suppose I want to reach at origin, it is sufficient to assume that limit r tends to 0. Whether angle is 180, whether angle is 360, doesn't matter. So we will keep in mind that this can be written as limit r tends to 0, 2 sin theta into cos theta, and that is what exactly sin 2 theta, and that is what our final answer. But our path number 1 and 2 says answer that is 0, 0. But what about here? That means this answer is depends on the theta. If we assume that theta is equal 0, so what we are going to get? That is 0. Theta is equal pi, so what we are going to get? Answer that is sin 2 pi, that is the 0. But if I say theta is equal pi by 4, so what we are going to get? If I suppose put theta is equal pi by 4, so we get sin pi by 4, and that is going to be what exactly 1. That means we are getting the different answer. That means it depends on theta, and therefore we can say that the limit does not exist. This is the second method that you can solve. This method will help whenever you consider the complicated function. So in that case, you just need to concentrate on x is equal r cos theta and y is equal r sin theta. Also, whenever we are going to consider this one, so instead of that, what you can write? You can say this is under root x square plus y square tends to 0, 0. That is also you can assume that. But ultimately this is what? Mod of r square. And this is what exactly r tends to 0, 0. That is the way, whatever I assume here. So this way you can say that by polar form. Also you can say that the limit does not exist. Limit does not exist. And this is the proof. But our question says, so that function is continuous at every point except at origin. That means it is a discontinuous at origin, but except origin, all the points it is what exactly continuous, and that is we are going to show that. Let us consider arbitrary point A and B which are the different from, because it does not contains origin. So in that case, what we can say? So limit x1 tends to b f of xy. So you have to consider your x is equal a and y is equal b. But whenever you simplify, so what you are going to get? 2ab divided by a square plus b square, and that is what? F of ab, and this is what your image of that function at that arbitrary point. And its limit is 2ab divided by square plus b square, and both are same. That means we consider this function is continuous except at origin. And this is all about the proof. If I suppose to consider, this is very nice question. Limit x1 tends to 2 1, x minus 2 into y minus 1 divided by x minus 2 square plus y minus 1 square. How we can talk about it? You always concentrate that if I put x is equal to and y is equal 1, so if whether you consider the different paths, still what you are going to get? Answer 0 and 0. Let me show first. Path number 1. What you are going to consider? Limit x tends to 2, and then after we are going to consider y tends to 1. But that function is there. I'm not writing here. But when I put here x is equal to, so what you are going to get? Limit y tends to 1, and this will be 0 divided by y minus 1 square. But this is what exactly 0. But if I observe path number 2, so first I have to assume that limit y tends to 1, and still what we are going to get? Answer is 0. Both have the answer that is the same. But you are going to tell that, so whenever we put here, whenever we consider a and b, both are the non-zero function. So what we can assume? Only it is required to consider path number 1 and 2. Already you have seen. But it is not the case. You should keep in mind that. So in that case, you have to think about the different way. What is the different way? But if I suppose to put here x and y is equal 2 and 1. So what we are going to get? That is 0 by 0 form. That is the indeterminate form. That means the path doesn't hold here. Path is not going to be help here. So in that case, what you have to do? Path will help, but if we suppose to estimate the function x minus 2 is equal u and y minus 1 is equal v. And that is I want to show here. So let us first, I'm just going to consider first x minus 2 is equal, that is u, and then y minus 1 is equal, that is v. So for our simplicity, I'm just going to consider x minus 2 is equal u and y minus 1 is equal, that is v. So what we are going to consider? So in that case, what you can say? In that case, you can say that x minus 2, y minus 2 tends to 0, 0. This also you can write, and this is into x minus 2 into y minus 1 divided by x minus 2 square plus y minus 1 square. But when you put here x minus 2, so what is we have? That is the u. So I can say uv comma 0, 0, and this is u into v divided by u square plus v square. Now you can solve this question by two ways. Now you can apply. Now we are going to determine the limit at the origin. Otherwise, you may use the simply concept polar form. That is the best way. But I'm not going to consider polar way, but I just go through UV plane and assuming the different path to determine the limit at the origin. So path number 1 is there. I'm not going to write it because first I assume that u is equal 0. So 0 divided by v square, so answer will be 0. Path number 2, first we are going to assume that v tends to 0. So 0 divided by v square, so answer will be 0. Path number 3, that is the along u is equal vn. So in that case, what we can say? Limit vn, v tends to 0, 0, u is equal vm, and again v is there, so v square m square, and again plus m, v square is there, so I just take v square common. So what I'm just going to get? Only when v square will be eliminated. So what we are going to get? M divided by m square plus 1. That means this answer depends on different values of m. That means we can say that the limit does not exist, and hence we can conclude that this limit does not exist. I hope that you have understood about the limit and continuity for a function of two variables. Thank you.